All right, so we are recording, and basically, I'm going to share this recording with you guys so you can take a look back on it. And the official hashtag, if you want to go out or you hear something interesting and want to share it, is hashtag stage2sell. I put that in the chat as well. So just if you hear anything and you want to shout out some people, please, by all means, use that hashtag. And I want to thank everyone for joining me to learn exactly what the heck to do with all your stuff. Our topic today is simply organized, eliminate clutter, and get smart storage solutions for the new year. So after this presentation, you should not only be able to recognize where all that clutter is coming from, but the best part is you'll be able to control the clutter chaos in your home for good. And we also have a special offer for those who stay on until the end, so you definitely don't want to miss that because it will help hold you accountable. Now, how many of you want to get organized because you're getting ready to sell your home? If you can just put sell in the chat for me. And if you are just, if you just had enough and you're here to get organized with your current space, if you could just type stay in the chat for me. And basically, I just want to know how most people will be using this information in their own homes. Got a couple of stays, couple of sells. All right, so many people, basically, now whether you're selling or dwelling, organizing techniques will remain the same. So is there anything in particular that is causing clutter in your home today? If you just want to type that in the chat, hopefully I will be talking about that today. Paper, yes, lots of paper. I have a lot of paper clutter myself sometimes, working from home. Let's see, who else? Clothes, yeah. Household, more paperwork. Okay. Well, many people tend to be disorganized because they never fully understand the relationship they should have with their belongings. So, and we'll be digging deeper into that relationship to assess your current situation and determine why clutter in your home exists. Because in most cases, it goes beyond the piles on the floor in your corner. So you're going to learn how to implement an organizing system proven to get results and get tips on how to stay organized in the key areas of your home, including the entryway, the kitchen, and the bathroom. And those are very important areas if you're going to be selling your home. And I'm going to give you solutions to integrate organization into your home immediately. Now, I know plenty on the subject. I became a home stager back in 2009 and created a New York City-based company called Stylish Stagers, Inc., where we focused on helping sellers prepare their homes for sale. And yes, I have 4 animals, so if you hear any of them during this webinar, I do apologize in advance. So you guessed it, part of that preparation includes decluttering and organizing the home. And whether on a consultation, a project, or during a how-to video, we've helped hundreds of clients pack, throw, and get rid of physical and mental clutter. I've recently created a 10-step feel-at-home process, which will also talk about organization, and will be found in my new book, Feel at Home, Home Staging Secrets for a Quick and Easy Sell, as well as in my new online video course, the Stage 2 Sell Strategy, which are both expected to be released later this year. So if you're still around and need some organizational help, please feel free to check those out. But enough about me. Let's really find out why your clutter exists. So the first thing you need to do is get out of your own head. So here are 7 reasons why someone never really begins organizing their home. Let me know if any of these relate to you. So the first one is I can't create and keep organizing systems. And this usually comes from a person who has never been organized. Many times people are never taught organizational skills, especially in the home. So they'll use that as an excuse, or in some severe cases, it's become their belief system. I've had a client tell me my kids won't keep it organized, so what's the point? Or I don't know where I should put anything, so I'm just gonna have it all out all over the place. I, in fact, grew up in a cluttered and fairly disorganized home. My mom had places for most items. It's just that she had a combination of too many items and not enough space. And I think there wasn't really a system, or she didn't want to put things away because if it was out of sight, it was, out of mind. But regardless, I could easily throw up my hands and say, I was raised in a disorganized family, so it's not my fault. But the best part about this reasoning is that it's all in your head. And you can change your mindset by learning organizational skills, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I want you to start thinking about why you want to get organized. It's usually because you're looking to change some type of an emotional state, like do you want to feel relaxed, feel more productive, have control? I'm sure all you paper people out there, you definitely want to feel more productive. And then, so when you get organized, think about what's in it for you and will it be enough to keep you motivated? So those are just some things to think about. And I love this quote from Zig Ziglar. People often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. And that's why we recommend it daily. You need to really focus on staying motivated every day, especially in your organizing process, or nothing is going to get accomplished. So here are some organizational skills you can improve upon. And everyone learned these basic skills as a child, but they may be a bit rusty. So let me refresh your memory here, okay? Everything has a home, right? I've had clients store random items all over the place. Bathroom items in the kitchen, bedroom items in the bathroom. Most of the time, items don't get put away in the proper place because they never had a home to begin with. And you want to find the best possible place for all your belongings. So ask yourself, where will you use the item? Will you remember where the item is? And does it need to be visible or easy to reach? When thinking about where to store an item, remember to group like items together or items that belong with each other together. This way, it's easier to retrieve and put away. So for example, ink cartridges and paper should be near the printer because all of that stuff goes together. Now, checklists and schedules help you prioritize, stay on track, and it creates efficiency and allows you to clear all that mental clutter that is making you feel disorganized. You want to take large projects or tasks and break them down into manageable ones. It will stop the procrastination and change your perception to allow you to focus better. So, for instance, let's say cleaning your house is an overwhelming job for you. Then break up the chores over a few days. So you're cleaning, let's say, a half hour to an hour each day, rather than spending a whole day or a half a day cleaning up your house. And then also maintaining a clean home will also make you feel more organized because your physical clutter will be manageable. Now, for all you pack rats out there, I know everyone has a favorite outfits, a place to sit in their house, maybe a favorite photo. So as you begin to declutter, choose your favorite items in that area, and then start removing all the other items that are taking up space. Now, with all that extra space, you're going to have room to grow. So as your lifestyle or your interests change, your storage can follow suit. And your organizing systems should reflect your lifestyle. So the second reason why someone may never really begin to organize has to do with emotions. And they can be a big influence on someone when it comes to getting organized. Many times, people associate emotions with material possessions. For instance, I can't get rid of these curtains. My grandmother made them. Or my father started this coin collection, so I have to keep it. When you organize your home, you're essentially changing your home and your habits, which can be overbearing for some. So they'll just avoid organizing altogether. Is this you? What do you fear if you get organized? I've had a client break down and start crying when I began to tell them what they needed to remove for staging. She became very standoffish, and when I confronted her, she said she wasn't ready to part with these items because they were her mom's and she had just passed. Now, in a staging, she just needed to remove them for a short period of time before she sold. But a few months later, she called me up and said she never actually put those items back on display in her home. And she realized that her mom's memory didn't live inside these items. Rather, her memory lived inside her. So she was able to part with the items. Now, it's not just prized possessions that can get people feeling emotional. Sometimes uncluttered spaces can make people feel less creative, which can have an impact on those right brain thinkers out there, who are very creative and visual. And emotions such as failure or defeat can also play a role if you tried to organize before without much success. Now, organization doesn't happen until after you've sifted through all of those belongings. So, how do you lose the clutter? I recommend following the 80-20 rule, which states whatever you're doing, approximately 80% of the benefit comes from 20% of the effort. Now, let's apply that to clutter. We use 20% of our possessions 80% of the time. So why not get rid of the rest, right? Here's how you're going to do it. First of all, you want to start small. Take one room, one closet, one pile of papers. And what you really want to do is create 5 piles. And the first pile will be for the items you want to keep. And these are items that you're going to use daily, something that is valuable or that reflects the lifestyle you're looking to portray in your home. The second pile will be to store the items. Maybe they're not in season right now, or you only need the item on special occasions, or you can store the items in your home, obviously, or at a storage containing company. The third pile will be items that you're looking to toss. And these items may no longer fit you, they may be broken or outdated. Now, the fourth pile has to do with selling it and is also an option if you have items you no longer need but are still of value. Why not try and sell it to make some money to buy storage products, right? Because we need some cash to get a little bit more organized. Now, that last pile will be items you'd like to try and donate. And if you think it's still in good condition, someone else can benefit from it, or you don't think it's of great monetary value, donate the items to a local nonprofit. It's always satisfying when your belongings can be reused. All right, and that third reason why someone may have a hard time organizing has to do with what's going on in their life right now. And this type of person was most likely a very organized person until this life event, like a divorce, maybe they have a new baby, or they're moving. It's disrupted their schedule, routines, and their habits. And if this is you, whether the change is good or bad, you must face it head on and change your organizing system to fit your new reality. Now, just like anything else you do in your life, you need to create a plan. So whatever it is that you want to achieve, writing it down is one step closer to making it possible and tracking your progress while you help break down and achieve those goals. And I have a little bonus later on that's going to help you kind of stick to a plan. So stay with me here. So with this plan comes a strategy, and this is what you're going to do in every area of your home. Again, you want to think small, take one closet, one corner, one room, and go through each item. Determine if you're going to keep it, store it, toss it, sell it, or donate it, and make sure to group like items together that you're going to keep, and then remove all the items that will be tossed, sold, or donated. Now, you can put the sell items in a clear bin and mark it for a yard sale and store it in your garage or attic until the sale. Donated items, I like to put in a bag and put it in my car. This way, the next time I'm out, I can just drop it off. Now, next, you want to clean the space where you will be placing your items. It may be a shelf, a drawer, a closet. Then begin to assign a home for your new stuff. And you're going to want to create a zone category, then possibly a sub-zone, depending on if you need smaller categories. And let me show you an example of this. Okay, so here is an example of a closet. Now, the zone is the closet off the bedroom, but the subzones would be each section in this closet. So the floor, they subzone for boots. The two shelves, they subzone for shoes. And they have a subzone for dresses, skirts, and purses. Get the point? Now you could go one step further and color code each group within the subzone. So all the blue dresses will be hanging together, and then all the white dresses. Or you could use height to assign a home, like what they did here with the boots on the floor and the skirts over there on the left side of that picture. So when you're thinking about assigning a home, think about how often you're going to use it. Is it accessible? Will it fit? Is it safe and secure? Ask yourself questions like these. There you go. So now the final part, obviously, is to educate others in your household that will be using the items. And you can make the system easier to follow by showing your family where everything is and use labels or specific colors. And of course, you're going to want to lead by example. If you're not organized, how can you expect your children or others in the home to be? A lot of my clients have this problem and they don't have time to manage their organizing plan, so they decide to never really begin one. And this way they won't feel guilty or feel like a failure, but this feeling usually creeps back in. Time management can be a constant struggle. I even get sidetracked from time to time. You know, everyone does. It's just a matter of if you have a system in place to regroup and refocus and get back to the task at hand. Here is a great quote by Stephen Covey. The key is not to prioritize what is on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Now, Covey wrote the New York Times bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The book comes with a workbook as well, and I think you should put it on your must-read list this year if you're looking to make great changes in your life. Here's how I want you to try and schedule your priorities. And you can actually gain control over your time again. You want to create a daily plan. I like to set aside a few minutes in the evening to regroup, review what I've accomplished, look to see if I've missed anything, and then create my plan for the next day. I like to sit down and then write everything down, figure out what I need to do, and then prioritize it on a task list, a calendar, or an organizer. And basically, you prioritize by asking yourself, what is the one thing that has to get done tomorrow? Now, I use Google Calendars, but I also use an appointment book. It's called At a Glance Quick Notes, which gives you all these little areas where you can have notes in this calendar, and it's a weekly and monthly calendar. Now, I love this calendar because it allows you to create monthly tasks, then break down those tasks into weekly ones. And it really doesn't matter if you use written or electronic form, just you want to make sure that you have a place to create a plan. Now, another thing that is important to know is your deadlines and attempt to get things done early so it's less stressful. Now, I sometimes try and trick myself. I will put a note on my calendar that an article is due on a certain day, and usually I put that on there a week before it's actually due. So when I forget or try and do it at the last minute, it's still actually early. Now, in order to be early, you have to set reminders and you have to have a clock nearby and put a time limit on tasks. I use an hourglass. I actually have two on my desk. One is an hour long and the other is 2 hours long. And once the sands from the hourglass is complete, I stop or assess the task I'm working on. You also want to block any distractions. So don't go hit up your social media channels, check your phone, go pet your dogs, grab food, when you're supposed to be focused on an important task. Create lists. And in fact, my husband Sal wants to shoot me sometimes, but honestly, I think it's rubbing off on him because he's starting to do to-do lists too. And I create shopping lists, work lists, honey to-do lists, etc. It's great because I have way too much going on in my brain and I don't want to forget anything. Now, another way to get a handle on time management is to track your time. So jot down when you start and stop something and how long it took you to complete a task. You also want to group like tasks together. So when you're cooking dinner, the next task would be to eat and then clean up. Or if you have to, let's say, post an item on social media, do all your social media tasks in a half-hour time period. It keeps you from switching gears and actually wasting more time. And speaking of wasting time, we don't want to multitask or spend time doing things that won't produce results. And of course, whenever you can delegate a task to other coworkers, family members, or friends to create some free time in your schedule. So for all of you who love to shop until you drop, I'm one of them, you may actually be sabotaging your organizing system. The compulsive shopper is someone who is trying to fill a void, and this person rarely buys an item just to replace another. They usually have a hard time throwing anything away, too. So, new items enter the home. Limited items are removed, leaving the place feeling quite cluttered. Now, you have to stop somewhere. And I said, yes. I said, stop. If you're a compulsive shopper, the only way to stop your clutter is to stop buying items that are not a necessity. Only go shopping when necessary, and you want to make sure to bring a list and stick to that list. While shopping, if you see something, you have to ask yourself, do you really need this item? Or do you have one of these items at home already? And will it improve the quality of your life? Another great way to try and stop shopping is only bring cash. In this way, it makes you think twice about the purchase. And if you're still considering the purchase, walk away, take a few minutes, maybe take a few days, Then if you want the item, go back and purchase it. I have to be honest, most of my clients never go back and purchase the item. This reason for having too much stuff is providing both mental and physical clutter, not to mention hurting your financial organization. Now, I am no financial expert, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I thought talking about a budget could benefit many facing this type of clutter issue. Now, a budget is simple. You want to track what's coming in, you want to track what's going out to determine where your cash is actually going. And I would recommend creating an Excel spreadsheet or using an app like mint.com, that's mint.com, to start the tracking process. You want to enter all your fixed expenses, so your mortgage, your car payment, cable, childcare. Then create a list of all your variable expenses, which will change every month, like your credit card payment, your clothing, your food. And then track your progress for 1 month. Total up all the expenses to determine if you have money to save and if you're living paycheck to paycheck or if you're in debt. Now, you should be realistic, and your budget should depend on your goals you're looking to achieve. So, you want to pay close attention to your budget for about 3 months to determine what's working and what may need to be changed. That was my talk on budgets. I'm not going back to that slide right now. Now, back to spending, but I want you to spend wisely because you may need some products in order to organize your home properly. Now, before you go out and spend a ton of money on bins, baskets, and buckets, you need to know what you're storing in them, that's why we create that keep pile. So the first thing you should do is look for items around your home that you can reuse. Either reuse the item in its current state, or just try and be more effective with what you're using. Maybe you have a piece of furniture or a shelf you can paint or stain to create an updated look, or maybe you can reuse an item in a unique way. Maybe leaning it on its side or upside down. So just try and get creative with what you have because you'll be able to save some money. The next thing you want to do before you go out and start buying all these organizing products is you want to take measurements of the space you want to organize. Measure its width, its height, and its depth. Now, I love using clear plastic bins to organize because it keeps the items contained, but you can still see what's inside of them. When determining what products to use, you should consider the shape. Should it be round? Should it be square? Should it be rectangle? And then that all depends what the shape of the item you're storing is and where you're storing it is. Also, when it comes to materials, consider where you're storing the item. Will it be visible? Does it need to look decorative, like a basket or a hat box? Maybe it needs to have a soft texture to maneuver and store items, let's say, under a bed. Or it would be made of wire to hold heavier objects. How about a lid? While lids can protect its contents inside and be easy to stack, a lid can also prevent organizing. If someone is lazy to open the lid, the item will never actually make it into the bin. I've had that happen a lot of times. And children's bins should also have limited lids so it's easy for a child to pick up after playtime. Okay, and when you're putting your organizing product shopping list together, put together a substantial list before you go out and start shopping. So you can basically buy everything you need all at the same time. Now, I want to talk about where you should shop. And here are some places You can pick up great organizing products. The Container Store is amazing, but of course it's pricey. I bought my entire office from the Container Store. I got the Alpha shelving and bought their boxes to store files. All right, there is the picture. All of that shelving came from the Container Store. It's called Alpha, and it's usually used for closets, but I really wanted to use it in here in my office. And all those boxes, the file holders I bought, those are all from the Container Store. Okay, so then you can also try Target, Walmart, or stores like this. They usually have great organizing products all year long at good prices. I bought all my clear bins at Target to store my staging inventory. Home Depot and Lowe's usually have great products, and you can find command strips, hooks, bins, and so much more there. You can actually even create your very own unique storage solution there if you're very hands-on and you're good at wood shop. Staples has some great products, especially for the office. You can use you can use binders actually, or they have clear envelopes that you can use to store some paperwork or store smaller items. And sometimes you can find amazing organizing deals at the Dollar Tree. And here are two online sites, organize.com and organizeit.com, that have a ton of organizing products on there, and there's really something for everyone in every room. The sixth reason why someone may never begin to organize is because the items they have or need to organize needs to be repaired. I helped a client whose kitchen was a total disaster, and everything was laid out all over the counters. But when I opened a cabinet door, nothing was inside. I opened another door, still nothing. I opened another door, just a few pots. And when I asked him why isn't this stuff in his cabinets, he said his cabinets were broken. So we replaced the pegs for the cabinet shelves, and we were back in business then. And I've seen homes where closets had no doors, shelves, or even a broken rod, furniture that had broken drawers, so piles of clothes would be stacked up on the side of the dresser. Rather than fix these items, the repairs needed was actually creating all this clutter buildup. Now, this quote from J.K. Rowling rings true in this situation. So rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. And that's from J.K. Rowling. And now, I'm not saying a broken closet rod can make a person hit rock bottom, but it can affect how they live their life. So once you fix any issues you may have with your closets, your shelving, or furniture, you can utilize these home staging tips. So when placing items back into the space, consider the function of the room and where the item relates to that function. And I'll explain this in further detail in a second. You also want to use vertical space whenever possible. Try using hooks, rods, shelving to hang items on the wall. You can easily double up your space by going up. Another organizing tip is to label everything. You can use a label maker. There's tags out there, different little clips. Sometimes I like to use clothing pins, and you can just put a little piece of paper in there, a decorative piece of paper, and just label everything. Do what fits your decor, what fits your style. And really, by labeling everything, everyone in the household can easily put that item back in its home. Now, one of my favorite organizing tricks is to use a trunk or a coffee table, especially in a family room. If you have kids, you can throw bigger toys in the trunk for easy playtime and cleanup. Now, the second floor basket, that is a great idea. I do it all the time, especially if you live in a two-story or a multiple-story house. Is a lot of times things will end up on the first floor and they belong in your bedroom and whatnot. So I like to keep a basket on or near my stairs. And then I'll put the things that belong upstairs in the second bedroom or on the second floor in the basket. And as people go up the stairs, I remind them to take the basket with them. This way, those items get back on the floor that they belong. Now, I've recently gotten a bit more creative with doors in a home, and it's an overlooked and wasted space, if you ask me. So why not add some more storage behind your doors? Here is an example of how to create a backdoor storage solution in your entryway. As you can see, they're using a door organizer with clear pockets. So you can see what's there, and they've also labeled every pocket so the item gets returned in the right place. There are also hooks on the door for this looks like a child's jacket, which is a cute idea because then the child can be self-sufficient and grab their own jacket. Inside, they've used a shoe organizer, baskets, and I love the hooks in the back to hang the purses and stuff. If you don't have an entryway closet, you can create something like this on your wall. You need to have a place to quickly hang items, and you should have drawers or cubbies or use uniform baskets like shown in this picture to contain items like shoes, coats, gloves, hats, umbrellas, and whatnot. This is also a very functional piece of furniture because you can sit down and grab what you need to get ready. Now, a lot of times in an entryway, I see people create a command center, either in their entryway or their mudroom. And this would also work behind a door. And you want to make sure that you have a place for your mail, your keys, any schedules, and all other items that are constantly coming in and out of your home. Now, the kitchen is the heart of the home and is a well lived in space in most homes. And there are really 5 functions to a kitchen. So the first function is space for preparing food. The second is cooking and baking supplies. The third is a place to eat. The fourth function in a kitchen is cleaning. And the last one is storing items like food and dishes. So now that we know the functions, the next step is to create zones based on these 5 functions. And this is what I'm talking about. I hope you guys can kind of see this little plan here. So when you're trying to figure out where to put things in a room, you want to basically create a map. So you want to take out a piece of paper and map out your kitchen, for example, here. So you want to remember to show where your windows are, your doorways, your appliances, where everything is located in the room. Then you want to add in the zones that we had talked about. So in each location, depending on where the appliances are located. So if your stove is let's say in one area of the room, that's where your cooking and baking supplies should go, like your pots and pans, oils and spices. Your sink, for example, is another location, and that's where your cleaning supplies should be. Your dishwasher would also probably be in that area, as well as cleaning products. And most likely the bulk of your everyday dishware will be in this area as well because it'll be easy to store after use. So I hope you understand how to kind of create this little map. The bathroom is another major selling feature in a home and is used constantly by household members. A bathroom should look and feel like a spa, so you want to keep personal items out of sight. And there are many products people use when getting ready, so try and designate an area of the bathroom for each household member with a bin or a shelf. You want to remember to group liked items together like we talked about, and you don't want to overload the shelves. You can use apothecary jars to function. It's functional, but it's also decorative. Clear trays inside drawers to keep items sectioned off. So when you open and close the drawer, everything just doesn't go flying to the back of the drawer or come flying to the front of the drawer. And I love, love, love this idea of using your medicine cabinet door to control clutter in your medicine cabinet. The door is magnetic, but you can see the back of the cabinet is also magnetic as well. They put up this material to make it magnetic. So you can attach smaller spice canisters. You see this in the top right corner. Medicine cabinets are small storage areas. So you want to make sure to take measurements and find a storage product that is going to work for you. Now, finally, many times people never get started in the organizing process because they're perfectionists. And while you may be thinking these people should be well organized, most times they're not. Usually they have the mentality, if they can't do it perfectly, they're going to put off the project. Michael Hyatt, who writes on leadership and productivity and so much more, believes perfectionism is the mother of procrastination. And most times these people are rarely satisfied because their expectations are unrealistic. So in order to overcome this, you need to be aware of your motives. Focus on the big picture and what you can accomplish now by setting small goals, and then you want to celebrate those victories. Your organizing plan will always be evolving, and it's a constant upkeep. So the more organized you become as a person, the easier it will be to implement in your daily life. So staying organized is no easy task. You really have to train yourself to do things differently. But as it becomes part of your routine, you'll find it easier to keep a clutter-free home contained. So if you like to keep lists, schedules, and charts, then creating a routine chart that tells you what you need to repeatedly do and when can work for you and help you stay organized. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you like to keep, lists and charts and schedules and things like that. Now, if you think this is going to be a problem, then you want to start small when changing your routine. Maybe only start with a few new tasks and grow from there. It's been said that it takes 21 days to turn a routine into a habit. You also want to take a few minutes each day to go through your house and take care of any items that are not in the proper place. You want to make sure that when you're putting an item down, you're actually placing it back in the home you assigned it. If you just put it down anywhere, you may forget to go back to it, and the item will then begin to build into clutter. Now, everyone in the household should be responsible for cleaning up after themselves. It shouldn't just be mom or dad cleaning up the entire house. You want to hold everyone accountable. Then, maybe reward them once a week, once a month with a satisfying treat. And you want to have reminders in place to keep you on track and motivated. Then, if necessary, tweak those systems if you find they're not completely working for you. Remember, organizing is a process, and it's not a quick project. So I want to quickly talk to you about how I can further help you in your home organizing journey before I take any questions. And I want to give you the opportunity to purchase our checklist bundle, which will provide you with simple changes you can make on your own home right now to get organized. And so you'll get the living room, dining room, kitchen, bath, and master bedroom checklist, which is a $25 value, and we are giving it out today for $20. So you can go sign up for that and download those checklists immediately at toritoth.com/checklist bundle. It's right there on the bottom of your screen, toritoth.com/checklist bundle. Now, if you're looking for a more customized report, holy moly. If you're looking for a more customized report here, I'd like to offer you my expert advice on how to organize one room of your home at a deep discount. So if you have a room or a specific area that you have no idea how to start organizing, you're going to want to take advantage of this offer. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what a home organizing consultation is and how it works. Basically, our expert advice will direct you every step of the way as you take action and organize your home. And once you sign up here at bit.ly, and that's B-I-T, it's right there on the bottom of your screen, bit.ly/organizing consult, you will fill out an organizing questionnaire and send that to us along with photos of the room or the area you need help with. Now, don't worry, we will tell you exactly how to take the photos so we can get the full view of the space. And then within 24 to 72 hours, we will review the photos and assess the room to determine what needs to be done. Then you will receive an action plan laying out exactly what steps need to be taken to organize this room with this plan. And we will also schedule a 15-minute call either online or over the phone to address any questions you might have about that plan. Now, the value of this service is $300 per room. And let me remind you, it's per room here. But for those on this webinar, I'm slashing the price to $99 per room. $99, that's not even half, that's more than half. And you'll get one room assessed by an expert, an action plan put in place for you to follow, and be able to speak with an expert about your room, which will make you feel less stressed and will save you time and money. So go to this link, bit.ly/organizing consult, if you think that you would be a benefit from a customized organizing report. Now, and I had a picture there. For all of you who have stayed on this call we're looking at an hour here, and as a special thanks today, I want to give you our free home organizing plan, which begins to pinpoint exactly what, when, and how you will complete your home organizing projects. So you will be receiving this for free along with a recorded version of this webinar. So I'd like to open it up for any questions. We have a few minutes here. If you'd like to reach out to me after this webinar, you can, there's my information right there. You can go to info.com. info@toritoth.com. And obviously our website is also right there, www.toritoth.com. And also please go subscribe on our YouTube channel. And that's where you're going to get more home organizing and staging tips to help you prepare your home for sale. And also we love fans on home staging tips. So if anyone has any questions, make sure to put them in the chat right now.